ESPN as the #1 ranked Oklahoma Sooners host the 13th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm Mark Connor alongside Florida All-American Kennedy Baker. Let's take a look at some of the news and notes around the NCAA. All 9 SEC teams are ranked in the top 15. A big victory for Georgia tonight with a huge score on Beam to defeat rival Alabama. Big Ten teams will duel in Pauley Pavilion, and that means we'll see Jordan Childs, the 2-time Olympian, competing. And as we mentioned earlier, Frankie Price's sister, Morgan Price, competes at Fisk University. She set an all-around record, breaking her own record at that school. We had 5 SEC Gymnasts of the Week, Kennedy.
A lot of shares this week, Bart. We start with Selena Harris, won her second all-around title against Georgia, number 13. We've got Jordan Bowers, who also won the all-around against Alabama last week. We've got Marissa Neal, who got first against their team on 9975. And then, of course, Helen Hugh, who also won Beam with a 9975 over number 6 Kentucky. And then, of course, we've got SEC Freshman of the Week, Caitlin John, who has been crushing it for the Auburn team.
Electrifying atmosphere in the stands.
This is just gorgeous.
Next Friday, we've got a slate of gymnastics meets for you at 7 Eastern on the SEC Network. It's Florida and Arkansas, followed by Kentucky and #1 Oklahoma. It'll be right here in the Lloyd Noble Center. Then at 9, over on ESPN2, it's #3 LSU taking on #14 Alabama. There's been an inquiry on one of the scores, and so we do not have a finalized team score yet. But the Sooners comfortably in the lead, regardless of what that number will be. And coming up in that 4th and final rotation, on the balance beam for Arkansas, it'll be Kalissa Gamial. And on the floor for the Sooners, fierce Jordan Bowers when we return. In the Lloyd Noble Center, Mark Connor along with Kennedy Baker. The Oklahoma Sooners comfortably in the lead as they are the #1 team in the nation. We get ready for the 4th and final rotation. The visiting Arkansas Razorbacks move to the beam. Kalissa Gamial will be their leadoff competitor. First on beam for Arkansas. And there's an all-around battle going on among the 5 Sooners who are competing in the all-around. And Faith Torres holds the lead. No scores under 9.925 for her as Gamial mounts the beam. She had only a 9.525 in the last rotation on floor.
Opens with a huge layout, step out, layout, step out. So difficult, gets so much height in the air. You have to be completely straight on the first one to get the second one over the top, on top of the beam, and she nails it every single time.
What's the challenge here for Arkansas in this 4th and final rotation? Oklahoma comfortably in the lead, and they're going to the floor. Arkansas on the treacherous balance beam. What do they need to do to finish off strong here, Kennedy?
Right. They need perfection, Bart. They really have to step up and hit these routines. It's not good enough to just stay on the beam. They need to stick on the beam.
Last week, they had a big victory against #2 LSU at home. One of the biggest victories in program history for the Razorbacks.
Good effort from Callista. Again, though, they need to really dial in and get these landings. Sticks are what's going to help them get back, stay competitive with OU.
Oklahoma is the #1 team in the nation on bars and floor. And as we noted earlier, Faith Torres is the leader in the all-around of the 5 all-arounders, all from Oklahoma. She has a 9.925 and 2 9.95s as Audrey Davis takes to the floor in that leadoff spot, just as she did on the beam. Davis Davis, a fifth-year senior.
Audrey opens with a big front double twist. Goes directly into her choreography afterwards. Really great effort there.
KJ Kindler prides herself on not only interesting and unique choreography, but fun music. It really draws the crowd in.
It really does, especially this year. I love the choreography work that she did this year. Their routines are so unique and stunning. They're different, their music is exciting, and they really put an emphasis on making their dance really, really big. Job there from Audrey. Nice job starting off this lineup. Really strong routine. They can build off of that for sure.
Sunday, we've got ACC women's basketball as number 3 Notre Dame takes on Louisville. Catch all the action at noon Eastern right here on ESPN2. Maddie Jones will be next up for Arkansas on the beam. Kamiao had a 9.75 in that lead-off spot. As we noted earlier, Jordan Weber in her 6th season at Arkansas. Last year was a record-setting season in so many ways.
This is important. They really want a strong away beam score for sure. Great effort from Maddie there. She had a mistake last week, had that connection in the first skill really slow, didn't get credit for it. She'll get credit for it tonight because it was much smoother. Really nice work there.
You mentioned a high away score. The way these teams qualify for postseason is not by their win-loss record, but in fact by what's called the national qualifying score, which is a combination of home and away scores. So even though Arkansas will likely lose this meet to the Sooners today, they still have a chance of getting a solid away score towards their qualifying effort for postseason.
Right. It's just as important that they perform to their best right now because they need this score. It's important, and it helps build their confidence for the rest of the season. Front full blind landing dismount. Drills it. This is difficult. You can't see where your feet are coming into the ground. Good effort in bending those knees and holding onto that stick.
There's Kyla Ross, former world and Olympic medalist from the U.S. team, now also one of the coaching staff members at Arkansas. Nearly everybody on their staff has been at the Worlds and the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Not like Jordan Weber, of course. Chris Brooks, her husband, was an Olympian. And Kyla Ross, what a lineup of coaches.
Insane. They have 2/5 of the London team on their coaching staff. What?
Pretty intimidating to apply for a job there. Which Olympics were you in now? Addison Fada, after Audrey Davis, led them off with a strong 9.875.
Another dynamic routine for OU. I love the intensity that Addison brings to this routine. She had a mistake here against Alabama. She kind of went out, I believe.
Oh, she stayed in.
You see where she went out the other day. That was where she struggled. Really good effort to stay in those corners, in bounds.
This is great.
A lot of the Oklahoma routines only have 2 passes, so you'll see them do a couple extra leaps to make up for not doing that third pass in their routines. And Tom puts a huge emphasis on getting their leaps all the way around, really showing to the judges that they're completed in full splits.
You mentioned Tom. That's Tom Haley, one of their associate head coaches. It helps them with their tumbling and vault.
Right here, she had the mistake last week.
Coach Kindler says she reminds her of Reagan Smith, who was standing behind her. There's Tom Haley, giving her a couple of notes. Reagan Smith was very hungry when she came here as a Oklahoma Sooner. She's now part of the graduate assistant coaching staff, but big future for Addison Feda, no question about it. Priscilla Park now on beam. 9-7 was the score for Maddie Jones before her.
Priscilla is an excellent beam worker. Opens with this acro series. Ooh. Great job keeping it over the top of the beam. You could see that dip in the right shoulder. Actually, sometimes last year she did a triple series. She's changed that this year. Cleaning it up, keeping it a back handspring layout, step out. Done a great job of consistently stepping up and delivering in this role specifically.
Oh.
Put that effort in to try to get that stick, had that arm swing just a little bit too much momentum.
Tomorrow we've got 13 hours of college hoops over on ESPN. It all gets started at 10 a.m. Eastern with the College Game Day crew, and highlighted by Cooper Flagg and number 2 Duke hosting North Carolina at 6:30. Followed by John Calipari, his return to Rupp Arena as Arkansas takes on number 12 Kentucky. Oh, I think you're going to enjoy this routine. This is Elle Mueller coming after Addison Feda had a 9-8. She's another one of those young freshmen, very expressive here on floor.
I love this routine, Bart. Her choreography is actually a little different than kind of the rest of the OU lineup. It's intense and then it's soft in moments, and she really does a good job of playing it up. Beautiful work there. Front through to double tuck, straight to the lunge. Performance quality in this routine is amazing. She really draws the crowd in. It's hard to look away. Nice work on that front 1.5 twist. You can see her teammates getting excited on the side. You train these routines all year long, so to finally see it on me day, it makes it even more exciting.
Takes a lot of energy to put that much into the choreography, doesn't it?
It does. It's just as important. The judges like to see that big choreo. They like to see the crowd draw in. They want to see people engaged with the routine. It makes it more exciting to watch. They love that routine. They're hyped about it, and they should be. That was a great effort from Elle.
Coach Kindler says that she reminds her of Maggie Nichols, of course, who was the great champion who came from the same club, the Twin City Twisters in the Minnesota area. Back to the beam now for Callie Sweeney. Priscilla Part had their high score of a 9-8 so far.
Callie's been working on consistency in this beam. She struggled a little bit in the beginning of the season, working on really nailing those landings, staying on top of the beam, and feeling confident on top. Opens with a difficult triple series here.
Nice.
Beautifully done. She's practiced that a lot in training, really getting that on top of the beam. She struggled with it. It's nice to see her really nail it tonight. Split jump to a split ring. The judges want to see a little more head release. If it's a ring movement, they really want to see you looking at the ceiling with your foot on top. A little shy there. Great dismount. Got that stick. She's excited about it. Sends the heart to her teammates and claps them up.
The junior from Gastonia, North Carolina. Nice series here.
Yeah, this is difficult. 3 acro elements in a row, one without hands. You have to be super straight on the first 2 if you want to keep the third one on top of the beam, and she did that really well.
Back to the Sooners on floor. Lily Peterson. Her high score today, a 9.925, was on bars. It's coming after Elle Mueller had a 9.85. The Sooners yet to break into the 9.9s on this 4th and final event, the floor.
Lily opens with a difficult 1.5 to 2.5. A lot of twisting skills. Nice job. I like the control out of that. She was a little out of control at Alabama. She really held that one in. I like that one a lot better. And she's just such a fun athlete to watch. I'm enjoying it because you can tell she's enjoying it. Difficult front double twist. Well done, straight into her choreography. I like her legs were extended throughout the entire time. They put a lot of emphasis on their twisting in the gym. Most of their lineup is twisting. They're making sure their legs aren't crossed in the air. They want them side by side.
How fun. The freshman from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. Lily Peterson, she's 4'10", but she'll tell you she's 4'11".
Let's go with 4'11".
AJ Kindler says she's known her since she was single-digit age because, of course, she was a gymnast at Minnesota, where KJ comes from herself, and always kept an eye on that young lady as she came up through the ranks. Cammie Weaver coming after Callie Swaney at a 9.775. So Priscilla Park is the high score for Arkansas on the beam, 9.8.
Nice job there from Cammie. Another athlete in their lineup that was kind of struggling at first on beam. It's nice to see her really get the groove back, feeling confident again on top of the beam and nailing these routines.
She appeared in all 15 meets on beam last year. She's kind of known in the team as being everyone's hype woman. Brings a lot of energy to this team.
I saw her in the warm-up, and she was definitely helping encourage her teammates, dancing along with them, having a good time, making them feel loose. Good stick. You'll see that was a little bit off to the side. The judges can't tell as well as us from our angle. Good save, though, to dig those legs into the ground and get the stick. You'll see in this roundoff, she was a little crooked. Went over to that right side a little bit. Good fight, though, to get the stick.
Seems like one of the signature elements for the Oklahoma Sooners on floor is a variety of routines. Let's sit back and watch this one. This is Jordan Bowers. This is a different mood altogether.
I love this routine. This is one of my favorite routines this year, and one of the best I think that KJ has ever done.
Music is Moonlight Sonata.
Gonna see Jordan open with a front double twist through to front tuck. One of the best passes in NCAA.
Beautiful.
Big double pike here. Nails it.
The senior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. 4 career perfect 10s on floor, 3 consecutive 10s last year.
This routine is so good, Bart. I mean, the tumbling, the dance, the form throughout. One of her best double pikes I've ever seen her do, so high in the air. And of course, to end with the bow, so appropriate. No other way she could have ended this year.
She kept that front foot planted on that last landing to give away the minimal deductions, if any at all. Anchor competitor for Arkansas on the beam, Jocelyn Robertson, after Cammie Weaver had their high score over there, 9.825.
Jocelyn is so confident up on the beam. She won beam at Olympic trials, and she just attacks it, kind of like we were talking about with Faith Torres and Jordan Bowers. You're just going to see her nail those skills.
Robertson's on the beam. The score comes in for Jordan Bowers. It's a 9.95, securing the victory for Oklahoma.
Big acro series here. Side aerial layout, step out.
Oh, that's tough.
So tough and so well done.
She, of course, was a former elite gymnast, competed on the national team. So she's used to doing really high level of difficulty in her routines, which is required at that elite level.
She is, and she still trains both skills. She's still on the national team. Great job on that front full. That's a blind landing. She's stuck it so many times already this season. Really nice work. Great form throughout and held on to the finish.
Be exciting to watch this young lady's career, not only as she proceeds through her collegiate career, but her continued career with the U.S. national team in gymnastics. Jordan Bowers had a 9.95, the high score for the Sooners on floor, and here is Faith Torres. Look at the day she's having.
Faith is having a great day. Faith is just so consistent. She does the same gymnastics over and over again. Incredibly well. Opens with this big double layout. And and she does it like that almost every single time.
This is almost an inner squad of all-around competition among the Oklahoma athletes, with 5 of them doing the all-around. A 9.925 for Faith Torres will allow her to win the all-around title. Although the team title is obviously the focus of these events, it just exemplifies the depth of the Oklahoma team in terms of quality all-around competitors.
Last pass here, front through to double tuck. Another nice landing.
You know, some athletes just have that pop in their legs to get off the floor. She is exceptional in terms of her explosive power.
She is. Not everyone can tumble like Faith. You know when she gets out there, she's going to be so high up in the air.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be your all-around champion today. KJ Kindler knows it. The Sooners didn't stick a whole lot of landings today, but they had such a substantial lead over the visiting Razorbacks. But I know the fans and the team would love seeing a big score here.
This is going to be a pretty big score. Jordan Bowers set her up really nicely with a 9.95. I don't know what the judges are going to do with that. It was pretty clean routine. I'm not seeing a lot on her leaps or tumbling.
We've only seen 110 so far in the NCAA competition this year. It's been kind of controversial because there's been two 10s in the league this year, but it's interesting that there's a new judging oversight committee, and some people are complaining that perhaps they're reluctant to throw the perfect 10 as a result of having peer oversight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that they're trying to really show that the scores aren't so even, trying to differentiate the good and the great routines, and I think it's fair.
I think it's a good point as well. That's the goal, obviously, is to differentiate between the good and the great routines, but we're seeing in general slightly lower scores than we saw last year. So the score for Faith Torres on the floor is a 9.9. So she will tie with Jordan Bowers as the all-around winners today. And of course, Oklahoma, by a huge margin, gets the win here at the Lloyd Noble Center as KJ Kindler gives her team a few final notes. #1 team in the nation at home, the Oklahoma Sooners, with a solid 197.825, get the victory over Arkansas, scoring only 195.975 tonight. It was on the bars where Oklahoma killed it, Kennedy Baker.
Yeah, they stepped up. They have their highest bar score this year. So good. Second highest in NCAA this season, only to themselves. And wow, they nailed just dismount after dismount. Huge releases, beautiful form throughout. They deserve to get the win.
And so Oklahoma defeats Arkansas by nearly 2 points, a huge margin of victory in collegiate gymnastics. Faith Torres and Jordan Bowers tied for the all-around with a solid 39.725. We got a chance to see Jocelyn Robertson with a 9.925 for the Olympic alternate on the beam tonight for Arkansas. That was a highlight. But Oklahoma, their third straight win by over a point by competitors this year. There is Jocelyn Robertson. We'll be watching her career as she makes her way through college and elite gymnastics, and she is a real treat to watch. Well, it was a great night here in Norman, Oklahoma. We're glad you all joined us here at the Lloyd Noble Center. The Oklahoma Sooners go to 9-0. They are undefeated and will stay #1 in the country. So join us next Friday for more gymnastics here on ESPN2 at 9 Eastern as #3 LSU takes on #14 Alabama. For Kennedy Baker and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Bart Connor. So long from Norman.